thought we might have a bit of inside information. Yeah. How are you anyway? No, I'm just asking, that's all. I spoke to somebody the other day. I spoke to somebody the other day and they said, I didn't know, I don't know, and I said, and they said, is it? And I was quite confident, I said, yeah. So I went out with a bunch of still got college last week, and some of them must have been told me saying. Somebody. Yeah, the new one. No, he has to have a I don't think that's a lot of people remember him there.
Nothing from Drew. I might be late because he's working.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Where you going?
Have you signed it?
No.
Right.
What is it?
Yes, Councillor Sadler. Right, I think what to do.
Can you get a right angle lens on it that points it?
Oh, okay.
You've got to sign it. Well,
Yeah.
sign your life away.
Yeah. Not take long. It's 21st, ain't it? I should know. There's a birthday in the office. Is that it?
Signing, Colin.
I'm already
Some
Right, oh, that's it.
of those in there are
How many? 1, 2,
going away
3,
to
4, 5, 6, 7,
life in the
8,
town.
9.
Yeah.
So shall I leave it here in case?
go on,
Or shall I put it,
Witching hour,
put
isn't
it in Paul's place?
Is that the
In
clock?
case he comes.
St John.
In this place.
Apparently Sawyer's rocket.
Tested.
One, two.
Oh,
I had St John.
With tablets and shorts.
my friend here. I go to the mine specialty. Well, she's just had one thing after another.
Right, we're going to start.
Golly,
Chaps, ladies, Christine, let's start. Right, we'll go to the public session. A, to receive a presentation of guest speaker if only Councillor Miles Manship update on Skate Park. Nope, not present. Mrs Williams, update on Barrow Ground. No. B, allow questions related to Anston Parish Council Recreation Ground Registered Charity 1086515, which will be related to the charity. There are none. C, allow representation regarding planning applications within the civil parish of Anston to be considered later in the meeting. There are none. D, allow one question per letter of the civil parish of Anston on a topic for which the parish council has a responsibility or which affects the parish. Nothing again. Through the chairman, to allow ward members if present to address any questions raised by the public in section B rated RVC matters start supplementary question per previously received written question if that member of the public is present. No. F. Through the chairman, to allow parish council members to address any questions raised by the public section D relating to parish council matters and to allow a supplementary question per previously received written question if that member of the public is present. Right, that's the end of the public session. We'll move on into parish council meeting. Item 1, to receive apologies for absence. Yes, Jonathan. I'm Councillor Jonathan Ireland. I understand Councillor Vernon is hoping to be here shortly, and probably Drew might be here. Train dependent. So we've just got that one. Okay, very far out of that. Okay, we need to just to receive apologies, isn't it? Okay, item 2, disclose members' DPI personal interest on the item to be discussed.
Yes. 11, 5, 6 and 7.
Sorry, Chancellor.
I don't think you have to do number 7.
No.
You don't have to do
No,
number 7.
that's not necessary, Colin.
You've
Number
got an item
seven,
up for
that's it.
discussion, so you don't have to declare.
You don't have to declare anything anyway, that one. Anybody else? Stuart? Me?
Sorry, 11.5, because I've had involvement on the website. It's a personal declaration. That's it.
Me too.
I'm going to Christine. Me?
No, she was 5.
Mine's 11.5.
Sorry, it's mine's
Very
11.6.
interested as well.
Sorry, 11.3. Because,
Ooh, we are on that.
because I wrote the item first.
Okay, 11.3.
Yeah, 11.3.
BBC.
11.6.
Did it?
Because I've been involved in the site.
Yeah, okay. Christine, did you... Chris, did you want to do... Did you have your hand up for it?
I did.
Personal interest?
I did.
Yeah.
I said me too.
You too. And that is... What numbers?
11, is it 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, what did you say about it doesn't apply to 5 or something?
No, it was Colin's 11 and 7 that didn't apply.
All right, yeah.
Question.
Okay.
Declared at 5 and 6, it doesn't matter if one of them's not relevant, at least you've declared just in case.
Okay.
It won't make any difference
Go on.
if it doesn't. It's not relevant.
11.4. I don't remember putting this on as an item. I will talk about it if you want me to, but I don't remember
I
putting
think you
it on.
actually did speak about it at the last meeting, but I don't know whether you got... How far we got with it.
I don't think we got to it,
You
did
had
we?
the allotments item on, didn't you?
Yes,
I don't think we got to something.
We'll let you speak in anyway.
No, we didn't. No.
You can still
I think you
speak.
might have touched on
Yeah, well, I will do.
It needs somebody.
Yeah. But there we go.
We'll have to feed that back into...
I didn't.
It is also on the agenda.
Is it? No, that... Yeah, 11... No, yeah, it's here, God, 11.4.
It's in your handwriting, Gordon.
Is it?
Yeah.
If you're only talking about it, you don't have to declare
I don't know.
it.
I'm just saying I don't remember doing it.
No, you've got it on there. So
Okay, that's
got a
fine
bit
then.
of paper. All right. Paul, good evening. Any personal interests in anything on the agenda? No, right. Yeah. Any interest in... That's the question. Right. So we've got, hopefully we've got all those. So it's item 3. No, item 4. Confirm, sorry. Oh, sorry, item 3. Identify items which the press public may be excluded. Public bodies have issued to meetings, Act 96. We've got them already on. 18, 1 to 7.
Just bear with me a second. Something else we should put on, I can't think of it is.
And if we get to it, you know,
What's that? You think that's one way there?
Yeah, I will restrict it all, didn't I? I included that in there. It was a call, wasn't it?
Right, just think, item, we apologise for keeping. So it's item 11.1, email from a council regarding the meeting of the 16th.
Could you use the mic, please?
11, 1.
11.1 is an email from a councillor about the meeting of the 16th, which was that was the meeting when we were discussing the budget. I think there may be some things, references in there that possibly need to be confidential.
I would say if it's the one that's on the council's not here anyway, is it?
No, I'm on about, I'll say which one I'm on about. Just
Another one.
this one, the long one.
Oh, that one, yes.
The next reference to,
Yeah,
should we say, building what we were discussing.
yeah.
Rather than spell it out in the
Yeah. 11.3.
Item 11.3.
Got two more little lines. Okay. So item, we've done that, we'll go back to item 3 then. Just
Did you read my on 11.4? Did you read it?
Michael?
Did I read it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't be mine then, you can't read mine.
No, I'm going to say, it's, I thought it was a prescription actually, sent through.
He took it to chemist.
I did it.
Item 3 then, so identify items specifically excluded. We've got 18, haven't we? Anything else that crops up? Item 4, confirm minutes of the Parish Council meeting held on Wednesday, 9th of December. Page 1. Page 2. Are you okay with those?
Sorry, just coming on page 2. 276.15. Okay. The chairman updated members with regard to his meeting with Messrs Stinson and Gill from Ireland BC. Well, didn't really have an update, just that there was a meeting that nobody knew about.
Well,
So we didn't really have, I'll just put it as a note, because we didn't really find out what happened at the meeting, so we'll leave it there.
When can you tell us, Clive?
well, this is just for accuracy of the minutes.
Yes, I know, but...
Not to discuss.
That's
It's an agenda item later on.
Right, okay.
Okay, can I propose a second? Darren? Second, Nick? All those in favour? Thank you. Item 6, receive minutes of the staffing committee meeting held on Thursday, 1st of October. Just to receive, but yes,
I haven't seen anything about Appendix 3, I don't know if anybody else has, but I ain't. I think the whole 1315. Councillor Jepson took notes, shown at Appendix 3, never seen it.
I would say that I'd like to circulate.
1315 pension.
Right.
They were sent to the chair of the staffing committee.
Right, I'll bring the notes to the next staffing meeting.
Oh, I didn't send them to Stuart.
Let me just give a brief explanation. When we discussed 0315, if you recall, members of the staffing committee, I actually disagreed with what was in the minutes. And I did the intent to send them a copy of the minutes out that I've received. So what I'll do is I'll bring them to the next staffing meeting, which will explain why.
Okay, do we need to just receive those, right? Item 7, approve payments and sign cheques, approve grants for all hire, if any. Oh, sign cheques. All hire grant. Part of it. Part of an application. Oh, sorry, apologies. Go back to item 7. Beginning, approve payments and sign checks. You've got to go to the council. Have you got a copy? Ron?
509633. Was that North Anston Skip?
I'm not sure if it was even an allotment scheme.
Oh,
It doesn't specify on the
okay,
invoice.
Okay.
It's an invoice that must have got lost somewhere because it was back from October.
right.
So we've got a copy invoice, so it's a bit unclear as to what it is. But
Okay.
I don't want to find out. I need to lodge it against the correct.
It needs to be a budget heading. Okay, any others?
51, sorry.
No, it's all right.
519618. Something from the top. There's a breakdown of that. Does it include the grant to Anston Festival for this year?
It does include that. Well, for hall hire.
Yeah.
Joe can study it in detail if you want.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I mean, just ask that, is that amount there, that cost, is that not just a paper cost? What the council pays the charity?
Yeah.
What it is because the hall's owned by the charity, the council has to pay money as such. But it all evens out in the overall picture towards the end of the year.
I appreciate that.
What Siobhan's done is she's actually lumped all the council meetings together with other organisations that get discounts. So what I need to do is to go through that. It's one cheque will be fine, but for the management accounts we do need to split out what was in terms of grants and to which organisation and what was proper council meetings. So I'll do that for the management accounts. But in terms of the payment, we get them all together.
Can we know what is the cash equivalent for that grant to Anston Festival Committee? This one they're asking for now.
What's the
What's the cash equivalent? How much are we going to pay?
4,202.
No. That
It's
is
the community festival, the Anston Day.
That we'll be discussing.
Oh, that's the next item.
I'm just on that. How much is it all hire per hour?
Depends which hall it is, it's about £25.
£25.
It's different price for large hall and old hall, new hall.
Yeah. Can I just come in
Probably
on,
works out.
can I just come in on this one? Can I, through the chair, can I ask the clerk if he'd email me 509625 Copperson in Stonewood? Can I ask if the clerk would email me what actually that involves?
Do you mean compassing as an act?
Yeah,
I can explain.
Well, there's a difference between, I have a reason for asking, I know what coppicing is.
Yeah.
I understand what coppicing is and how it works and pollarding and all that. I just want to know what's actually involved.
The quantity, you mean?
Quantity in the area and what's actually involved.
If everyone didn't know, coppicing is when you cut and deciduous trees back almost to the ground so that they regrow with a vigorous growth, and it keeps a nice healthy shrub there in the woodland. But I take your point, you want to know how big an area that would just cost us.
I think the council's been around the Copsing area several times, so we should know what area we're talking about.
I don't, honestly, I don't. I'm being honest, I
End of
don't.
the Stewardship Field, when we go for a walk, we normally go into the wooded area behind, and that whole area there, there's loads of like Copsing piles, and then we go down towards the river.
If that's the stewardship field,
Yeah.
this is Radford Road coming up.
Yeah,
There's the big wood there,
yeah,
right? Are you talking about this open area here?
further down. Go straight at the end.
That, right at the end
All
there.
those areas at the end, all that area is copies.
Right.
And then down the footpath.
Because you seem to do coppicing every year,
Yeah.
but surely should only be coppicing once every 7 to 11 years.
I think what you'll find, if, when we eventually get round to looking at the Stoneswood management plan, you'll find that everything's compartmentalised. And the idea of a coppice regime is that you rotate it. So coppice area A might be done in year 1, B, year 2, and so on. And it can be done over a 25-year cycle.
7,
And-
11, 25.
And what I'm assuming here, because I haven't looked at the management plan for a while, I'm assuming it's just one of those compartments that's ready for to be done after 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it is. So it's not that it was done last year, it's a separate compartment.
It was in the accounts last year.
Yeah, but it's a
Some-
compartment.
Some copies, but not necessarily that same.
It won't be the same bit, it's done on a rotation.
If you did it every year, it wouldn't work, would it?
You just go there.
I don't know.
I think perhaps just tell members that if when we get into the, if we get a plan of that, it might be area just, it might be handy just to mark on a boundary line or something like that, and just give you a guide where that work's been carried out, and we can see how it's rotated.
That really ought to be the management plan.
Yeah.
We need a 5-year work programme, so it'll say which compartments want coppice in, which ones want clearer and scrub, which ones whatever other treatment in year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. And it's very clear on that, in a table, which areas want coppice in, what the size is as well, and roughly how much that should cost as well. So that's what we need to be aiming for when we revisit the management plan and the work programme for the woods as well.
I think that will help people and see where it's working around in the cycle, so you can understand it. Okay. Can I have... Sorry, Colin.
509621. What sort of a drill have we bought that's cost 260 quid?
Is that one that we approved the
All
once?
singing, all dancing.
Sort of a drill.
It's the one with the 3-chargeable battery one. With the drill and impact driver.
For 360 pounds?
It's,
It was considered by council.
We approved it.
Take it that includes that.
I did ask one of the workers what type of drill he wanted. This was some time ago, and he was saying it is an expensive one. It's got the glass has got impact on it. Impact driver. It's a heavy duty one for heavy duty jobs. So it's not excessive enough for what the job the tool needs. So it's not excessive.
We did approve it. The others? Can I have those who accept for? Ivan? Brilliant. All those in favour? Zero. Thank you. All high grants. Anston Festival Committee.
Presumably this is for, I've got 2 questions. First one is this for next year?
Yes.
Do we not need to be considerate when after the next budget being set then?
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's the first question. Second question, really, is I'd like to know exactly where that breakdown of financial contribution to insurance comes from. I'm not clear where that figure comes from. You assume a lot.
In terms of the hall hire for this current year, it was £328.75p. That was the cost that we're now having to, the council having to
Was it
pay.
then
328.75 for the use of the hall and
Yeah.
the committee meetings were separate.
Yeah.
And then they're asking for an additional contribution, is that right?
Yeah. Can I come in?
Yeah.
So,
So I think you were there. Please,
right.
sorry.
First thing is, this application,
That was for the use of the rooms by the committee. The actual Anston Day itself was 265.50.
Yeah, because it's cheaper.
right, so it was, right, first thing is, it's in the wrong financial year, as I just pointed out, because we've already gave you a grant for this financial year. So,
It will be 16, 17.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, we've already given given a grant this year. And just by what they're saying there is, Anston Day grant equivalent was £265.50. On top of that, there was hire for the field, which we've never quantified.
There's a fee for the field.
Do we know what it is
I
roughly?
think it's £40 for the days.
So that's now £40, so now we're up to almost £300.
No, that's including that.
That's including that, I do apologise. So the total grant is 265, which is more than the grant we give to other groups, because we restrict that to 100. So first thing, it's in the wrong financial year. The second, they've had more than what other local groups get. Do they get free hall meetings?
Yes.
So they get free hall meetings as well on top of
Which
that,
was the original 320.
which is costing 328. So now we're already on well over, what, £500, £600 to get a year in this financial.
Is that 300 and something included? Meetings, or
That was no, that's the meeting.
that's the meetings themselves, I think.
So, Anston Festival Day Committee, 32875.
Right.
What is it?
No, it's 320,
So it's, yeah, 32875.
32875, that's including meetings.
So all,
And
so all the calculations, if I've calculated right, it comes to approximately £600.
No, it's 32875.
32875.
Let's start again. Right. So the total figure that the group has had this year for Anston Day, hire of the halls and the field comes to £328,
Yeah, including the committee meetings.
including the committee meeting. Right. Which is still 3 times higher than we give to the groups. Can I propose that because it's in the same financial
Excuse me,
year-
still before you do that, can it be referred to the Grants Committee?
I'll just come in.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
I thought I'd better get into that.
Right, can I propose that this grant application be deferred until the new financial year and be referred to the grants committee that should be up and running at that time?
Can I propose an amendment to that as well? It's my understanding that in this coming second year, they were supposed to come back to us with a set of accounts. There's nothing on here that lists income and expenditure in any meaningful way.
I think, like everybody else applies, we will, when they come back with that grant or application in the beginning of April, we'll need the bank details anyway, bank account details, because I know they set one up earlier this year, that's right, to do that. They said they would come back because a report on that. So, like anybody else, we shall need a statement from the bank account, see where the, so that's what we're asking everybody else to abide by. So it's
So the proposal is to bring it back in the new financial year and place it before the grants committee.
Second that.
so we need to write them, don't we, to tell them that we need to let
Yeah,
them
if you
know.
want to, if you like to
Well, I think
say,
about
feel
we
the-
should do as a matter of protocol, right, and say it'll be, if they want to reapply at end of March, so it becomes considered in April, and if they can supply us with details of the bank account, then everybody's on a level playing field, and that'll be next year. Because we still only, as you say, it's a second application within one financial year, so it's got to be for next year.
We need to vote on that,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So if we've got a proposer,
yeah, I propose.
second, Billy, all those in favour? Please show. Thank you. Item 8, consider grants. One. Sorry, go ahead.
Before we move on, can I just touch on this high grant hire the hall? Is there any reason why the charity can't give grants? Why are we in this council giving grants?
It's,
The charity
the charity shouldn't be giving grants because at the end of the day the charity should be trying to break even and trying to use its premises commercially.
Seems to be terribly complicated to
The
transfer.
council wants to
It
give
is.
If the charity gave the grant in the first, effectively we're giving the grant to the charity, we're not giving it to.
but in the
Council
books,
better.
in the books it would appear as a grant to that organisation. But certainly when we do the annual, the newsletter that contains the grants, then that would reflect the grant that's given to the charity, but it actually is earmarked against that particular organisation.
It must be easy for you.
Because the charity has to be run on charitable lines and by charity law and by the trustee. I would suggest that the charity can give grants if it so wishes. It's just that we haven't done that practice in the past. But the charity, if the charity was so minded to, it probably could give a grant.
At the moment,
Technically, the funding comes from the
at the
council.
moment we've got sums of money floating about in the air. I mean, there's, August 30th was the festival. It's now gone in, we're trying to got it into the expenditure. For 3 months it's not been shown as a cost against the budget, which is a working document which we should know what costs are doing.
It's probably something we need to look at, maybe after April, when, maybe that's the time to look at this sort of thing after April. You'll see much more of the money.
Well, I would certainly buy
It's just
when we get onto the budget to
the
get rid of the higher grants and just
it's just the way the law
up the
does
cash
it.
and let them.
Just the way the councillors or where the finance works in the past. It's all
So it
council.
seems.
Do you think it should be changed, Philip?
I do, yeah. It's not like this party. Maybe when we get to the budget, that's the first budget later.
Okay, anybody else? Item 8, consider grants annual village Christmas concert.
Right. I haven't got a great deal on this one. One thing that I keep bringing up, and it's that I do it whenever I remember, whenever I can. I have a little concern that when we give grants out to various organisations around the village, we're giving grants out to help these organisations, but some of the organisations, in turn, are raising funds or giving their excess funding to charity. Now, 2 points on that. One is we give money as a contribution and get absolutely no recognition whatsoever.
We do on this one.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm talking in general, not specifically. And the other thing is, if these groups, and I don't mean this particular one, I mean in general, if these groups can raise funds to give to charity, they should be able to raise funds to be self-supporting.
I'm not disagreeing with you,
That's all right, you're allowed to.
but part of raising funds is to go into organisations like parish councils and other people who give out grants to generate those funds.
That's all. It primes it, doesn't it? It's kick-starting to enable it to happen. That's it.
I agree and disagree.
Do we have a grants policy? Grants policy for that?
It's
We have a grants policy.
That's what Drew's looking at.
Well, that's the plan.
Right,
Nothing in about retrospective payments because this is already taken.
Well, they've been, yeah, it happened. I mean,
Can you do
the application was on the 16th of November and the concert was on the 5th of December. So they've all been applied before the application, it's just that we've not
So I
done
could
it.
now ask another question, and I might be looking off. So if they've already had the function and raised the money, I would argue, tongue-in-cheek as it were, that they didn't need the money in the first place.
Can I give you a bit of
I'm
background?
not going to say anymore.
Give you a bit of background on this one.
We're looking at changing.
I went to this concert and the programmes were got Parish Council's name on the front, the logo and everything else, so we are recognised on that one, and that's what was helped to provide the programmes and heating and lighting for the event. From my understanding, the money was put in by an individual to start this off, and then they get that back. So what happened was, that's been put in by somebody out of their own pocket to start that. The event raised over £500 for water aid, and under the government's pledge, they have doubled that amount raised, so it's actually raised well over £1,000 to water aid through that. So,
Can I make a proposal?
Yeah.
Right, I propose, because we've already said with all the other grants, that the groups that only have 100 grants this year, we've said that we will keep the same policy until the end of the financial year, and hopefully the new regime of the grants committee will kick in. Can I propose that we give retrospectively, the annual Christmas Village concert, £100.
All those in favour? It was, I have to say, it was excellent. No, I don't know anybody else ever been to it, but it really is a good. You know, I think there are about 5 choirs from children's choir that so it does take some organising.
Can I just come in again, 20 minutes? Just roll on to the next one. Would it be an idea, possibly in liaison with Drew, to send out a letter to all these community groups, not warning them, but telling them that we are looking at changes and these, because I mean some of these will have these grants year after year after year, and maybe we need to send a warning letter that it may not occur again next year, and it will give them an opportunity to see if they can source extra funding from us.
Well, I think to be fair, we have to notify all the organisations that we've ever given a grant to say that they may have changed. I think we'll have to put whatever we do decide on the website so people can access it and make sure that they you know, it's like applying anywhere else. If you don't fit the criteria, or you know, we're going to want some more information. So I think we need to do that. Again, the one for St James's Church, that's been held. I went to that one. They had a lot of messing about it because it was an awful Saturday night, and they finished up, they put a marquee up, pay for that and everything else. It had to be to move it, go indoors. And the Salvation Army band played there. It was again, a lot of people turned up, and it was a good night. But as you see, the application was before the event. Sorry,
Going on from what Stuart's just said, yeah, that's fine. Can we make sure that we have our procedures and our policy in place before we notify them? So we don't make sure that we've got it already and then send it to all the groups who traditionally ask us for grants. And that way we can notify them and then perhaps even tell them of any deadlines and ask them to get them in before the event or after.
I think it's something that people tend to get to this time. They tend to forget if you don't go to school, you must have it back. And I don't think we've ever sent out a set time when you must have an application by, you know, like 4 weeks before the event or 6 weeks or something like that. So we need to clarify that.
Can I make a proposal that we grant, is it £100 that we give?
St James's.
Can I propose that we give St James's Church £100 for their community license?
Second, can I have all those in favour, please show? Thank you. And 383, we're back to the Festival Committee, aren't we, again, for the grant, and that's going to, that was the same, that's, yes, that I presume everybody's happy that that's the same decision as we did for the all-high grant. So we need a proposal. Can I have a proposal that goes back to April as well?
I'll second it.
All those in favour? Thank you. Item 9, consider planning licensing matters, transport issues, received reports. List 49, item 1538, Food Porch, 45 St James Avenue.
Can I propose we leave that to the planners, it's just a front porch.
Yeah.
Neighbours as we
Anybody else, any? Not on that, so a straightforward application. This 50, item 1559, two-storey side extension 25 West Street.
Can we leave that to the
South
neighbours as well, because that's a straightforward side extension.
Second for the proposal, second for those two. Do it. Me. All those in favour? Thank you. Renewal, is that it? 9.2. To receive notification from the Forest Town regarding extension of consent regarding extraction from Harrowcroft, Warwick. I think everybody's seen that letter. There is a provision in existence, I think, from 31st December next year. They're wanting to extend that to 31st December 2031 for limestone extraction. Just to make people aware, before we come in, this ties in with the local development plan because Harrowcroft Quarry is a source of limestone for roads, etc., etc. And I think this is one of only the few quarries in the Rotherham area, and I think this ties in with when the LDP runs to 2030, 2028. That they'll probably start extracting from there again once building work starts in this area. So if anybody's got time to spend, if they want to read through the ghost strategy or the LDP, it does tell you about Harrycroft Quarry, and it's a limestone quality there. That's why it's been dormant for that long, because there's been no major road or house building happenings in the area. I'll let you.
Can I just ask, did the Parish Council support that application last time when it was approved?
I don't think we've ever,
Okay,
no,
fine.
not objected, no. Not as I know anyway. Stuart?
They say we anticipate that the authority, i.e. Rotherham, will be consulting with us in the next few weeks. I'd like to see that when it comes through. Maybe we need to have that on the council meeting just to be aware of it. The other thing is the submission of a planning application is likely to be made next summer. So again, we'd obviously want to see that. There's no reason why we shouldn't.
Well, it will come through our fellows.
One thing that concerns me is when before they mothballed the quarry before, they used to do regular blasting. And they were getting one or two people from South Anston coming in saying, I can't remember exactly what they were saying, they was worried about the blasting and it was creeping closer and closer to the houses of South Anston. Maybe when a planning application comes in, maybe that's an area of concern we need to be looking at. Because there was implying, whether it's true or not, that the houses were shaking and things when it was blasting. I'm sure you guys have got them.
Well, I presume that's happened before, so if they grant the application, there'll be conditions attached to it anyway for
Depends which way they
anything
go.
like that.
Depends where they go. If they're creeping towards, because at that time they was creeping towards Southampton village. So it's just something we need to be
It
aware
may be
of.
that
The blasting.
they may line in a different part of it, I don't know, that'll all be part of the application, I would throw it goes in. Everybody happy with it? It outlines anyway the reason that there's not been much mining because of the economic recession, so theoretically when that picks up in the next few years and you start building houses, that production will increase, and so will the vehicles on the road, so we're going to
Do we just receive that?
yeah, which everybody happy to just receive that. At 9.3, to receive notification regarding RB 2014/1703, condition 10, no right turn has been removed.
Can I come in again?
Yeah,
This is the right term. We were saying we wasn't very happy about coming out of the new proposed houses at the Croft on Worksop Road. The decision's been made. I think we had valid reasons for not turning right into traffic, crossing two lanes of traffic. I'm a little disappointed that, I think, if I remember right, did we as a council object to it?
we objected to the removal of condition 10.
So that was it, yeah. We objected to the removal condition, and I'm just a bit disappointed that the planning people have not listened to our views.
Well, I went to the planning board and spoke against it, but it was carried unanimously that they were. The ironic thing is that the meeting in June, it was when the planning board actually went out on the site visit for full planning application that they realised how bad the traffic was and voted to put that condition on. And then when they appealed against it, they voted to remove it.
So what happened?
So that's slightly pointless exercise, but yeah. And the applicant was also appealing to the planning inspector as well, so if he'd have lost his appeal at Rotherham, it would then go to the planning inspector for them to determine it, which he would probably, I think in all instances, he would have won his appeal, so
If anyone has appealed, would the council have to pay for that?
probably.
I say I don't know.
You make your own mind.
Michael, I have some feedback on one of the
Okay. Item 10, to authorise sealing documents to conservation shows we've got offence to the peril for Anston Parish. Item 11, to consider matters from previous meetings. Item 1, discuss receive email from council regarding meetings 16th of November 2015.
Can I
The council in question is not here, so
propose we just accept that? I think that's all we have to do.
Can I ask that it be brought back to the next meeting, because I want to ask some questions on this. So can I...
Well, I think he's apologised.
No, it's not a straightforward apology if you read it correctly. Can I ask that, because the councillor's not here, that we bring it back to the next meeting, please?
I don't think there's a need for that. It's straightforward.
I think
He's,
it is.
he's took the effort to write and said he's
He's
apologised.
Regardless,
Well, he's not accepted as an
he
apology.
says, I apologise for lowering myself to their level. I find that quite derogatory to whoever he's referring to.
It may be,
He was talking now to the council, which is probably not appropriate.
right.
I propose that letter be brought back to the next meeting so the councillor can address his own letter.
You got a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favour? Can we just do that again and vote it?
Go 5 4,
So, all those against?
All those that are in favour?
You just asked for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I'm changing it.
Well, it's the way you're doing it.
No, well, that's what I'm now. I'm just saying,
Just go on then.
because it was 5, and there's 10 of us here, so we need to just, we'll have a recorded vote. All those in favour of bringing it back? That's 6. isn't it?
That's why I was saying, 'cause I'm sure.
That's all right, that's fine, that's all
Don't
right.
accept
Just
his
checking
apology.
again, because Michael got 5. If it'd been 5, then it would have been...
Are you asking me?
No, it's to bring it forward.
It's to bring it up again?
Excuse you, don't accept his apology.
No, that's not the
Can I-
reason.
Chris? Darren, please. The reason I asked for a recast is because it was 5, and that's why I wanted to make sure we got the right numbers, because it would have gone to it 4 and against. Item 11.2, to receive thank you email from Anston Parish.
Can I propose we just accept that?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Those in favour?
Yeah.
11.3, to discuss receive an email from Council regarding meeting on the 30th of November.
Is this one I suggest we put it into?
Confidential.
Right, I'll tell you the reason why I think it should, because the meeting this email refers to is a budget meeting, which is a confidential meeting. And there may be one or two things in there we may wish to discuss that could be of a confidential nature. So I propose that be put into a confidential session.
I'll second that.
All those in favour? Councillor Jarvis discussed cost of bonfire night and road closure.
Well, seeing as we're having our budget cut by Rotherham, apparently, I really believe that we should stop this. I mean, it's 10k.
Are you saying we can't afford it, Gordon?
Well, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
I
you
don't
there.
think the price can afford it. I've
Yeah.
been saying for quite a while, not
Yeah.
only on this, I think we should
We don't.
cut our grants by 5 or 10%. Everybody knows it. We're all feeling a pinch.
Paul?
I'm quite sure that cutting the grants by 5 or 10%, but there'd be no in and
I'm
out.
going to say this is which...
Yes, I know.
We're discussing bonfire night,
Yes,
not
sir.
grants.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the finances.
What we said at other meeting was we were looking at ways of possibly funding this not from council but outside of it,
Right.
which was like the guy that supplies the fireworks. I think we're looking at other ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So
Right. Okay.
Or cutting back, Gordon,
yeah,
on the fireworks.
but we didn't
Yeah.
get around to finishing it.
Spending
Well, anything
more.
to cut it down.
Something's got to be done.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
definitely.
It was also about bringing income in on bonfire
Yeah,
night.
we're looking at ways of
Can I just-
changing the bonfire.
Hang on, just let Paul finish.
So that way we're looking at ways of changing it, possibly getting sponsoring, possibly getting, like, for example, mobile burger vans, that kind of thing, to generate income rather than the reverse of it.
Yeah.
So that's, we discussed it, but it didn't
Not
get any
so
further
Right.
because it's on a Saturday this year and I anticipate it to be even bigger
Yeah.
than last year, or this year, sorry.
Can I just say, I'm going to disagree slightly with you. I think it's a good thing for Anston. However, the cost, you probably find that when you top all the cost up, it's probably more than 10k as well. My own estimate, and I could be wrong, but it's about £11,000 plus when we add everything in. I think we should be making some serious inroads to reducing that cost, and I think there's quite a lot of potential to do it. We'll have to discuss that in a budget meeting. But if it was the council decision to cancel it, I'd go along with it. But I personally think it's a good community then, but it certainly needs some financial reduction in what we do, or financial outlay in what we do. And about the road closure, I was speaking to Siobhan, the clerical assistant, and I think next year there may be changes to what we can and can't do in regard to closing the road after the event to let people out. That may or may not incur an extra charge next year. I don't know how that's going to work out yet. So yeah, definitely need to reduce the costs.
All right, that's fair enough.
What? I wasn't aware that we actually had to pay for the road closure. What does it cost?
I don't think we pay. No, we didn't pay for it this year.
We don't pay.
We didn't pay, no. It was only for about 7 weeks, something like that. But next year we may have to have a formal road closure.
No.
Do you want to say anything on that? No. I think it was about 7 weeks we closed, isn't it?
Yeah, can I say
For
that
everybody else.
what's happened in the past is that the police have, monitored the road when we let people out for a bonfire. The police have monitored the road and directed the traffic, etc. And again, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that the police may not be willing to do it next year. Whether that's a result of the cuts, I don't know. So that, if we have to do it ourselves, that may incur some form of cost. And again, I say, I'm not afraid with the whole situation, but it may be an extra cost we have to put in.
Well, can I just say, when we have the budget meeting, hopefully I'll have some more information regarding road closure costs that I'll bring to that, and then we can discuss it more fully. Everybody's happy with that. Darren?
Regarding bonfire night, I disagree with what you're saying about cutting costs. I think we ought to be thinking the other way. And spoke to Paul on this on a couple of things. I think we should probably have a working group, subcommittee set up to promote bonfire night. And I think there are many ways we can generate a lot more funds from the bonfire night. Food, stalls, etc., etc. I don't think we maximise it at all.
I think we all agree with that last meeting, that it's just been left to run its course.
As I mentioned to Michael tonight, I'm quite happy to put million forward to be involved in it with anybody else and see what we can come up with.
Well, I think we need to look at all that, because one of the things we've got to try and do is maximise income that we get from everything that we've got,
Exactly.
and which we're obviously not doing at the moment. It's more one-way traffic. Literally, it is more going out than we are seeing.
I know it's a year away, but sooner rather than later.
Well, I think we need to start planning for it if we're going to go ahead with it as soon as we can, and see what we can get back in. Did you want?
Yeah, I agree with the more income we can generate, the better, because that will offset costs. But I still think we need to look at also reducing costs as well as bringing finance in. So like bring one more in and reduce the other. I agree. We do need to have more finance coming in.
Okay, we don't need to get it. That's just. Item 5. Councillor Smith, discuss possible copyright infringement by Anston Parish Council Watch. Is that all? Right. Do you want to?
Yeah, I was going to let Ivan return to his...
Oh, sorry. We'll wait for him to get back.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think the big question is it copyright or is it not? I'm not a legal mind, but I've done a bit of research on it over the last few days. Contacted gov.uk copyright. They advised me to call copyright lawyer, which was the Institute of Trade Attorneys. Our local one in Sheffield is Robert Franks, they're a copyright lawyer. I spoke to him today, And one of his he asked me three questions. He said, who was the original owner of the logo? Spoke to Michael again after this, and he seems to think, you know, there's going to double check that it is Anston Parish Council that actually own the logo in the first place. And they want to know whether it's registered or unregistered, and who owns the design rights. And anything else I say on that will be just being speculative at me, so I think we're going to have to probably possibly get some legal advice on it, unless Michael can give the answers. We also need to contact eConcept, that's the website solutions people in Chesterfield that look after Anston website. I think they will know a lot more info than I do. I have tried to get them again over the last couple of days, but without any joy on that. Yeah, I mean, the point was, I think Michael should see if we need to seek any legal advice on it. I'd also like to put this whole episode and the two items towards Tune Spence at Yorkshire Council Association. You know, when we meet in January.
You beat it to it, because I was just going to suggest that we perhaps should do that and see if we can get some sort of a
I want to be a second
definitive guidance from somebody.
But before I just move on to the other, I'm disappointed by people in this room who we're all supposed to be working together on this council, and to discuss items on a website, blog, before we've even discussed it in a council meeting. I just think it's a bit of bad form, that's all. And I'd like your advice on that, Chairman, whether it's actually constitutes good practice.
Well, if you're asking me for my opinion,
I
think if you're a council, then what you should bring in here to discuss this is the forum for it to take place, and whatever happens here, that's it at the end of the matter. No, to me, discussing in other areas afterwards, if decisions being made or whatever is not helpful. But that's just my view.
Yeah. I mean, you've all got a copy of it in front. You've all got a copy of the blog in front of you. Most of you, and some of you wrote on it or write on it. I'm not saying you wrote this particular item here, but you know, there's a lot of presumption going off by people, and you know, every one of you in this room has my phone number, my email address. If you want to ask me any questions, just feel free. Please don't go behind me back writing on the websites. There's no need for it. We're all supposed to be in it together, and you know, I just ask you to be a bit more respectful.
I don't disagree at all. As I said before, I'm not a...
No.
I don't get...
I don't actually need to have a big shout match. I don't want to get involved in
I think that's why I think we need to maybe speak to Sheena about it and get some sort of protocol on it as to what maybe Yorkshire Local Council Association and also the national body, because I'm sure they must have some idea of this sort of thing. Whether it goes off elsewhere, I don't know, but I'd like someone to give us a bit of authoritative guidance on it and see where we all stand. And I think that's from Sheena's point of view as councillors, I think that would be helpful at that meeting. But we need to make sure that she's asked that, you know, she's got that question when she turns up.
I'm quite happy to leave it at that. I'd rather us not get into a heated discussion, but if you want to, if some of you want to carry on with it, that's fine.
No, I mean, I'll let other people have their say, but I'm quite happy for it to go in front of her anyway.
Sure.
And let her speak. Do it.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. The question is, why now? This website, as far as if you look at the date on it, has been up and running for well over a year. So why has it suddenly become so important about copyright on a logo?
Well, I've only been on the council for 5 months, don't know if you're aware of that.
That's, again, in that case, it's been up more than 5 months, but once again, it seems to have...
Well, I didn't join the council, and the first thing I looked at,
I'm not suggesting for one woman on the yard. What I'm saying is, why now? Why is it
asking a question?
Yeah, why has it become an issue?
I'm actually only asking 2 civil questions. Should it be used on another website? And that's all they are, 2 civilised questions that I'm allowed to ask. I've been on the council for about 5 months. I never even knew the blog existed until about 7 or 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, and my second point, it's not a question, it's a point, is there's no rule to stop people logging on web pages. When I go on I normally put down S. Thornton, which indicates I'm speaking in my private capacity. However, I don't recall putting councillor on Anston Parish Council Watch, but I have done on other logs. And if I put councillor, then I'm speaking in my capacity as a councillor, and I'm fully aware there's a code of conduct. But at the end of the day, if I wish to make comments, either as an individual or as a councillor, there's no rule can stop me, providing I don't break the law or break the code of conduct. And I will continue to put any comments on weblogs in whatever capacity if I see fit to do so.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's denying that right, and really, I don't think you would either. I think the point is that Darren's making is that somebody could have phoned up or spoke to him and said, hey, what are you asking this, what's this about? There is a fact that we do not talk to each other enough. I noticed that the email that's also in that pack that we're going to discuss later, I'd like to just have a chat about it, because we're just spending so much time talking about these things. Let's just talk about it, please.
Exactly.
It's great, and then we can get
to each other, by the way, Ivan.
Yeah.
I agree with you. They are, I mean, just going off track slightly, we should be talking more, but there is certain factions occurring on this council, and they've been occurring from almost day one. We all know what they are. We're all doing the factions. So, let's just turn and say, yes, we probably do need to speak more, but we all need to be on the same wavelength, not attacking each other.
Well, this certainly won't get me on the same wavelength as everybody else.
It does come across as an attack, whether it's justified, it's not for me to judge, but reading it does look like it's an attack. But it would just be nice for somebody to reflect.
And by the way,
facts.
I've never been to Specsavers.
You know,
No. I buy my glasses locally.
Christy.
is that humour?
Nearly.
Could I just ask you, please, Darren, what are you actually concerned about? Is it that the council will be brought into disrepute, or...?
I'm not concerned about. I'm just concerned that we've got a logo there, which you can now clearly see, and somebody else is using it.
But it is slightly different on A1.
No, there's one word, it says watch.
Yes, that makes it different.
Watching.
If you take all the writing away and then ask you what the logo is, I would have thought most people would know it's Anston Parish Council.
Right, well...
You can't just write watch on it.
Right, so is that...
I could take Mars Bar then and take their logo and just write something on it, new Mars Bar, and use that.
So is that your only concern?
The concern...
Or is it the stuff that's being posted on?
It's both, and I think some of you are taking it out of context about where I'm coming from. It's the fact of the association of the website, Anston Parish Council Watch, to Anston Parish Council. Personally, I think we would probably want to have a blog on his own website, but we are two separate entities, and I think people can be misled to believing that it's one and the same, or there's an association with it.
So you don't want...
I think we should keep social media away from the council.
Oh, well, in that case...
On our side.
In that case, I will just state my personal stance, which is that I reserve the right, as a person, to post what I want and where I want, and I don't consider anyone at all has any right to tell me what I may or may not do. And I will continue to do that. I understand your concern about the logo, and obviously that can be looked into, but as for what gets posted on there, I personally will continue to post under Christine Sadler, as I have always done, and that will not stop.
Can I just add there, that's all and good, and I said right at the start, I don't see a problem with people having their views and people express them. Yeah, good, thanks, Darren. What I do say is that you need to make sure, if you're posting on any sort of forum, writing a letter or doing anything else, send an email, that you get your facts right. And that if you are argued against, you can robustly deny them, confirm them or whatever. there was, and I'm not objecting to the blog itself. There was a comment on there saying that I was eating in a meeting. It wasn't me, it was someone else. It's a mistake that someone's made. That person didn't get their facts right. So what I'm saying is, by all means, express your honest right to make comments. But I think people need to make sure they get it right.
I think people should write exactly what they want to write.
Pardon?
I think people should write exactly what they want to write.
Christine, may I ask you a question?
Nobody should police
Can I ask you a
anybody
question?
else.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I was following that. I want to finish this, I know, as soon as we can. Point. This is on the blog to myself. I presume it's to me. I have a very strong suspicion Councillor Smith is being fed lies, false and erroneous information by members of the Labour Party who still adhere to their 1960s Stalinist views on free speech and democracy.
Right. Somebody thinks that.
I'm not offended. I'm a big lad.
They've a right to think that if they want to, Darren. You're going to have to swallow it.
I struggle with this.
Well, yes, I understand that.
Well,
But this is social media.
Yeah, but I don't...
Nobody can stop anybody from saying anything they like about me.
You can.
Hang on.
They can, you can't.
I'm going to call out to it there because I agree with what you said. That I will keep the Spence to give us some guidance on this because I'm not happy about it at all. So I think what we need to do is to ask it as a question, or send it through before it comes, and just ask her what she.
I've had plenty of use on these websites, and I assure you, you can't do up to individuals. Unless they break the law.
I want some guidance from her to us as councillors. So
As councillors, Clive, as a private individual, I can put what I like.
But you're a councillor still.
You're still a councillor.
You're still
No,
a councillor.
I'm sorry. No. I have a private life.
You can't separate.
I'm a councillor when I'm involved in council work.
I'll agree to disagree.
Sorry?
I'll tell you what. We'll see what she has to say then. When
We will, but I can't have the Yorkshire associations telling me what I may or may not put.
I'm not saying she's going to tell you. I'm saying I want some.
No, well, I'm just giving you warning, Clive. It'll not make a scrap of difference to me.
Fair enough. Go on, Stu.
First of all, I think we should maybe vote if we're going to go to an outside body for advice. What are we actually going to ask the outside body? What's the question?
To bring it up at the training session so we can have a discussion about it. So I think so everybody's clearer in their minds as to where we stand.
So we're not actually asking advice, we're asking, we'll ask Sheena if she attends the training to cover that as a topic.
Yes.
But regarding the first...
It's not written advice, it's what her views on it are. 'Cause I'm sure she must have come across it on other...
She can't give you her views, Clive. She'll give you the association's views.
Well, yeah.
She's not here as a private individual.
I know she's not. It will be the views of the local council.
Well, it won't be her views then.
Well, but it will be hers. She'll be speaking on their behalf, so it's basically her views still, isn't it?
She's lying with you.
Right, where do we go now with this one? Should you?
We still need to come to a conclusion about the logo and...
Well, I think...
I'm going to take that bit any further, because I think that's different to...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where we're going.
issue.
Are you still pursuing that as a...
Yes.
As an answer? Well, I think if you want to bring that back in the next meeting, then we'll see where we are on that.
Was that the logo? Right, can I just get one thing fairly clear? Obviously, there's a problem with the logo, and you have a problem with that. You're quite entitled to bring out and make comments, that's not a problem. The problem is, are you acting as an individual or on behalf of the council?
Well, that's acting on behalf of the council, that's
Right,
what
if you're acting on behalf of the council, before you can do anything outside the council, you have to have authority from the council to do something. This seems like myself and Councillor Coleman, when we went up to look at the play equipment, we had to have authority. If you want something done of the council or by the council, it has to be a vote or resolution.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask the question then. Are we happy if Councillor Smith pursues this about the clarification of the legality of using it
In my own time.
in your own time? in the parish council logo?
I'm going to object. The reason I'm going to object is it's never been a problem for well over a year, as far as I'm aware. But also, it could lead us down the route to a potential court case against...
But Councillor Smith sees a problem. If he thinks it is a problem, then
He can,
he's entitled to raise it, isn't he?
I've got a problem. He can do as much investigating as he wants on a personal basis, but he can't act on behalf of the council unless we approve it.
I think it should go through the clerk. If there's going to be any investigation, I think the clerk should do it for the council.
You've got to give the clerk direction to do that then.
Right. What do you think to that, Darren?
I think if people want to have a vote on it, then that's what, you know, it's democracy, let's vote on it.
We've got a proposal then that we ask the clerk to...
I propose
Sorry.
that Michael investigates further.
What?
The legality.
Exactly.
On grounds about the logo for Anston Parish Council being...
Does the logo Anston Parish Council belong to Anston Parish Council
We actually...
solely?
That's what we'll find out, won't we?
Yes.
Can I ask if,
Right.
and whatever information you've got on that then, Darren, if you let the clerk have that and any
Absolutely, which I've already said to
firms or whatever that and then we ask the clerk to investigate that further. Can I have a second for it?
Sorry, before you do that, are you saying that I can't take this any further on my own, or...
You can take...
Are
Are you wanting to take it up further on your own individual? I mean, I haven't got a
the result
problem.
will still be the
I've got a
same.
problem.
I'm quite
Yeah.
happy to, but I'd be interested to see why we shouldn't if I'm doing it on my own time and there's no cost involved.
Well, I think other people have done work before on their own back,
Absolutely.
outside the council. I've got a problem with it whatsoever. It's a,
Well,
We want
I'm
to-
proposing that that's what I do then.
I'll second that.
we've got a second it.
Thank you.
Gordon. All those in favour?
Are you in favour, Dan?
Of course, I propose that.
Are you taking against, Clive?
Yeah, just hang on, Chris. What do we have for... Can you check the numbers then? We'll go back here. Can we have a... Can you just do that again? All in favour of Darren doing that? Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's carried.
Report the findings
What,
to my
sorry, what's that proposal then? What was the vote for?
Councillor Smith, do it as a logo legality. Use of the logo legality.
In a personal capacity?
Yes, it is on the... Okay.
Can I just ask
Sorry,
a
mate.
question for you? I wasn't going to say anything on this. Can I ask the logic behind letting Darren do that on his own capacity when we can't write on a blog in our own personal capacity? What's the difference?
Shouldn't we ask that before we voted?
What's the difference? You do something on your own back. Chris Dane's done something on her own back. Other people have wrote on that on their own back.
Yeah, I'm doing it on behalf of the
There's
council.
no difference.
He's got
If you're
the
allowed to do
vote.
that, then we will have to write on the
But
blog.
he's bringing that information back to the council. That it's two separate issues as far as I can see. Go on, go on.
Mike, he's got the council, we've just given him, council just given him permission.
Well, you just have, you just voted for it.
Yeah, that's what I say, that's why he's doing it. Because we've given him permission.
Well, I'll make,
As a body.
I'll make a proposal that councillors in their own name are allowed to write on blogs about whatever they want.
I'll second that.
Well, it's a different
Surely you
Probably
know.
anyway.
You do that.
We don't need to propose that.
If you wish to, then you want to...
It's not on the agenda anyway, so...
I think it's a joke, Stuart.
If you wish to vote as a councillor, provided you don't break the law or are mindful of the code of conduct.
You have to take the
Right, as a
consequences,
councillor.
don't you?
It's only the Labour Party members that have been banned.
You don't need permission for that.
I don't think.
Which I'm not a member of.
I know that,
Thank you.
Gordon.
Right,
And I shall continue to post
Item-
where I want.
Item 11, where are we? 7, Councillor Tone.
So, I just want to get that in.
To discuss amendment to Standing Order 95 regarding rules of public participation.
Can you remind us, please, Colin? It's such a long time ago, I've forgotten.
What I'll do, I'll read it as we go on. What I've tried to do with this if I can bring it into the 21st century. Now, I have to admit to making an omission, because I notice on the existing rules there are certain legal terms which I haven't included. But what I'm basically proposing, I'll read it out. Meetings of the parish council are not public meetings, but members of the public have a statutory right to attend meetings of the council as observers. They have no legal right to speak unless the parish council chairman authorises them to do so. However, as part of its community engagement, Anston Parish Council sets out to try and put public participation near the beginning of its meetings when members of the public are invited to speak. Members of the public should not be involved in the decision-making of the council. The council should not make any instant decisions at the behest of members of the public on items that are not included in the agenda. As a matter of best practice, the public forum will be kept separate from the debate of the councillors. If matters raised are not on the agenda for the meeting, these can be used to form part of the agenda for a future meeting at the discretion of the council. Members of the public are welcome to stay for the council meeting after the public session as observers, but will not be able to join in the discussion unless invited to do so by the chairman. Members of the public may be excluded by a resolution of the meeting for specific items which need to be discussed, for example, staffing matters, tenders of contracts and some legal issues. The public session...
Sorry, Colin, I'm really sorry to interrupt you. Are you going to read all of it out?
I don't think
you can read all of it out.
I don't think we need to.
I'm sorry, just for brevity's sake.
No, well,
Sorry.
where mine differs from the existing rules, I think it's more user-friendly. I think it's easier to read and it's easier to understand. And it makes the points perfectly adequately. Excuse me. And all I do is ask for your support and approval.
Can I make a suggestion? I've read through Colin's proposed rules, and they said there are slight variations. I think this is a better version for the public to use at meetings. And my opinion would be, or my view would be, to leave standing order 95 is in the rules, but to use Colin's version for the as guidance for when we have parish council meetings to be issued to members of the public to follow. The only thing we've got is the 15 minutes for the session and the 5 minutes for each member of the public. I don't know what the members' views are on that either. Sorry,
Yeah, just a minute. I can see the merits of what you said about leaving the existing Rule 95 or Standing Order 95 and using this one, I presume, for distribution to members of the public. Are they exactly the same? Because we can't have, I would suggest we can't have two documents.
I think the only difference is the times.
Right.
And it considers
Everything that's in Standing Order 95.
it's just Collins is a probably better read.
Would you agree, Colin, that it's exactly the same on those times?
Yeah.
Right.
What's your feelings then, Colin, on having your proposal as, should we say, a shortened version to be distributed to the public?
Guidance notes, in effect.
Guidance notes, and leave Rule 95 as it is. Are you happy with that, or do you want to change it?
If that's the wish of the council and the majority of those, I'll accept it.
I think that's a good abridged version of Collins, and apart from the, I think it's more readable than the legalese that we get in that, and I think that's easy for people to understand. I said the only two, it's the 15 minutes for the session and the 5 minutes per member of the public, and that. Got any views on? Sorry.
Wait, sorry. If we're going to do that, that's fine. Can we have Rule 95? Can we have that? Can we have an add into that saying separate guidance for the public will be available?
Yeah, that can be altered.
And that way it does cover us.
I think Colin's true intention is all contained in the forward, if you like, the first paragraph or so. That's where the real intent is, the message you're trying to get across. It's a public meeting, we're inviting. I would suggest that we just precinct that first paragraph and include it in the agenda before the public session. Put it in there.
So are you saying from where it says meetings down to do so
Yeah,
by
it
the chair.
can be reduced a bit more. And we don't need council to put maybe excluded, that's in the section 95 itself. But just that general introduction, not public, it's sort of trying to get across the message that we don't have to.
I'm sorry, but do you understand it right? You want to start with meetings of the parish council and then finish it and invite it to do so by the chairman to be included on the agenda sheet.
Basically, yeah, as I say, it could even be compressed a little more maybe to things out. But then put that in as a standard block before the public session. Because the people in the local area read the minutes, so...
Leading on what Philip's just said, sorry, I know you want to say, but just to jump on what Philip said, why not just have some of these printed out, laminated and left for the public to read so they can see them,
They've got
the whole thing?
Before.
Yeah.
You can do that as well.
Yeah.
Have it on the agenda.
Sorry, Stuart.
Yeah, sorry. Did we resolve the issue about the 10 minutes?
It's supposed to be 20 on there, according to it.
Right, well,
On standard 95, it's 20 minutes and 2 minutes per elector.
few meetings ago, I was suggesting, because we now have 2 public sessions a month where we only had 1 previously, I was proposing that we have 10 minutes at each public session of the month, subject to the chair's discussion. Because again, there was nobody here tonight for questions at the time we asked for it. We're only averaging 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people at the moment. Can I suggest that the 15 minutes be reduced to 10 minutes and that each member gets 3 minutes instead of the 5?
Oh,
Subject,
yeah.
I think this is quite a long time, but subject to the chairman's discretion.
No.
Because it just moves things on quicker. But if there's lots of people turn up for a plan application, the chair can make it longer if it's
3 minutes when you're speaking to the planning board seems like,
Oh,
like
3 minutes is quite a long time.
It's just a long time to speak. I mean, at the moment we give 2, so that if you had 10 minutes, that theoretically allows you 5 questions from the electors, and if you have a 10-minute session. I mean, I'm easy. What I do says we've got now got 2 meetings with public session beginning and end of both of them. It's how much time you want to.
So that's my, if there was a proposal, that's my amendment. Is that
So yours would be 10 minutes, if you
10
need 10 at the end.
10 minutes to speak. This, 10 minutes to ask questions at the beginning of a meeting, restricted to 3 minutes per person, subject to the chairman's discretion. So the rule's there.
Yeah, you
use it as a rule.
That's right. You don't,
Yeah.
if you only had 2 questions, that's fine. If you had 5, then you'd obviously
Well,
look to extend it then, wouldn't you?
so that's time for 5 minutes and 3 minutes, subject to the chair's discretion.
Mr. Colin?
Can I also make a suggestion that on page 2, third from the bottom paragraph, all persons present will act respectfully towards other persons present and so on and so forth. And the final paragraph that asks to note that offensive or threatening behaviour will not be tolerated, can they be included as well?
Included.
I thought we
Well, yeah, we include the whole thing.
Include the whole thing.
We're talking about the whole thing.
Well, the whole thing.
Why not just leave it in? We're talking about including the whole thing.
I think the only thing that Philip was on about was the first paragraph, reducing that word.
Put it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
And put it,
First paragraph.
First paragraph will go on the
you
agenda.
know these bits there, look. Put that first bit in there.
Can I suggest that, I mean, has anybody any other views on the timing?
No,
Suggested.
Could I,
Sorry, Christine.
could I just say, Stuart, that I think that could, if you just allow 10 minutes and a lot of people come in, and 5 minutes per person, that could be construed as trying to shut people up, which I certainly would have taken it as trying to shut me up when I was a member of the public.
Oh, dear, try.
But it's
Did
That's
they?
why,
Oh, dear, try.
that's why I've added the caveat, subject to the chairman's discretion.
Well,
And it's 3 minutes, not 5.
If lots of people turn up...
is
chair-
it 3 minutes per person?
So if lots of people turn up...
No. Yeah, doesn't mean they've got to take the whole time, Gordon.
No, but some will.
Well, we are here to serve the people of Anston,
But
and they should be able to speak.
That's right.
Just hang on a minute. Sorry.
I know, are you going to let, are we going to propose it? Are you going to let Colin propose it?
Oh, Colin could...
No, go to an RMBC meeting,
Can you
you're
just...
told straight away at RMBC, you've got 3 minutes, end of story. And they're supposed to be serving the public.
Can
But that's different to us, Colin.
Hang on, just
We're a
hang,
little parish.
just hang on, let Michael just read through what he's got.
Essentially, there's a proposal with two parts. So, Standing Order 95 is to be amended so that the rules of public participation are at chairman's discretion. The 20 minutes becomes 10 minutes. The 2 minutes per person becomes 3 minutes. In terms of Colin's document, the 15 minutes becomes 10 minutes, the 5 minutes becomes 3 minutes, and that is accepted as the public document, which will be circulated to members of the public at meetings so they know the full rules, and also the first paragraph and a bit will actually appear on the agenda as well as a summary of guidance.
Michael, I think you've hit the nail right on the head. Can I just add one more thing? That before that's actually timed up and the 15 minutes is changed to 10 and all the rest of it, that all those bullet points are numbered, so we can refer to them as a numbered item in the guidance notes. Thank you very much for that.
Are we?
So, we have to propose that. This was left over from last.
Can I just say that if Michael goes away and does a mock-up of this, so to speak, for the first phase of the next meeting, and then are you happy to let us to circulate it, just let, so everybody knows what we agreed to, for clarification?
To bring it all back next meeting for final approval.
Are you happy to approve it now? Well, I am, it's just that...
It just needs tidying up.
Clive,
Just tidy up. Sorry, Christine.
could I just reiterate what I've said about this may be construed by some members of the public as trying to shut them up. Some of the people sitting around here are fairly new and not had experience of sitting in the audience trying to bring up points and being shut up and being moved on, and all sorts of ploys being used to shut up members of the public. Now, I would not like to see that situation.
But this will tell the members of the public what they can and can't do during that public. So if you follow those, there's no question anybody.
No,
You
Clive.
have to shut up as long as you follow
They
those.
should be given more time.
Clive, can I just say this? Can I
It's
just
the
say,
time, I don't
in
agree.
response to what Christine just said, that, you know, it could be construed that we're trying to shut people up. Instead of having 2 minutes to speak, they're now having 3 minutes to speak, and if you deem necessary as chair, or whoever is in the chair, decides that it's necessary to extend that, then we can extend it. But they're actually being given more time now.
And before it was 20 minutes once a month, now it's 10 minutes twice a month.
Can I
You've
just-
still got the 20 minutes.
Can I say, nobody's trying to stop anybody from speaking. The thing is,
Well, it looks like it to me.
No, we're trying to make meetings more workable.
Yes, but we're not here to serve the meetings, we're here to serve members of the
when
public.
members of the public attend, they're here to ask a question. So it'll be very rare you'll get a question that's going to last more than 3 minutes. They ask a question and the chairman gives a reply.
Well, just give them the chance, Stuart. Doesn't mean they're going to speak for that length of time, but the fact that you're telling them they've got to stick to that time, I would find that quite offensive.
Subject to the chairman's discretion.
I don't think
Subject to the chairman's
it's
discretion.
people friendly.
I think it's more people friendly. I don't find it offensive.
Well, they're getting a minute instead of...
Yeah, can I go? I'm going to vote on it.
And the thing is, the chairman's got
Got the proposal.
discretion.
Well, he'll tell them to shut up, won't he?
Seconder.
I'll second it.
You. All those in favour, please show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
They should just it will work, but nobody's shutting the audience.
No, it's not that, Stuart.
I, for one, will stand by the rule that members of the public should be allowed to speak and be heard. Because I thought that we would.
I would like the council to appear
Sorry, Chris,
to be serving the public,
we are-
not
we-
themselves.
Can I just... We're going to move on to the next item, which is... Sorry, item 12, yeah, it's the receipt communication sent out by the Parish Council. Item 1, to discuss receive letter from RMBC regarding government support grant. We all read the missive from Sir Derek Myers.
And I put it on this one.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Because I've got quite a few points to raise. And I'm not well, I'll put it this way, I'm disappointed in the letter for starters. The 6 points in the letter is, the first thing it points out is that Sir Derek has the executive decision-making powers, which means if he so wished, he could make a decision in favour of parish councils, over and above the council itself and the leader of the council. That's my understanding. It then goes on to say this issue will be reviewed, and then further down it says he's not going to give us it this year, which is not really good. Can I just go on a bit further? It says this general climate of having to cope with less money and still find creative ways of keeping local services going has led to a new willingness for the council to talk openly with parish council colleagues to see whether new ideas and approaches to service provision might be taken forward. So, when was this discussion or talk openly, when was that done? Because it's never been done with this council. I've been to meetings of Rotherham where, in effect, when the grant was taken off us by Councillor Hogmore, she chaired the meeting, we had a brief discussion, and it was a brief discussion, and there was dissenting voices in that meeting, yet they took it as that was the consultation. We as a parish council, as far as I'm aware, have never had a proper consultation on this grant being taken away. And then it goes on to say, this general enthusiasm was increased when I met with representatives of parish councils. Go further down the line. At that meeting, however, it was once again impressed upon me that parish councils did not object to the reduction in the grant, consistent, etc. We have objected, that's why we brought the subject up. So where is getting the impression from that parish councils are not objecting, especially this one, losing £30,000, that line is utterly wrong. We have objected. So we go down a bit further. If we accept the principle that parish councils do not object to having their grant reduced by the same proportions, well, we have objected. Again, we have objected to having our grant reduced. So basically, this letter is not based on reality. I'm not going to recommend the council change its budget. Again, it's my own personal opinion, we have a non-elected official saying we can't have budget, money from their budget, which the government has said quite clearly they want local councils to pass this grant on directly. NALC have said they wish to see the government's wishes carried out by passing this grant on, and YALC, our local association, also have said they wish to see this grant going on. So when they say the decision is they're not going to pass it on, we have commissioners who were appointed by the government defining government wishes.
So what's your suggestion, Stuart, that we write back saying
I think we should write back.
disagree with Derek Miser's decision?
I think we should. Because
We
we're
should
losing
disagree with the
30,000.
points,
Pardon?
that we disagree with the specific points.
Yeah, if you wish. Well, whatever yours. No, I'm quite happy to write that because at the end of the day, what's actually happening is, yes, central government is reducing the grants to local authorities, i.e. Rotherham, but the central government are saying, we expect you to pass the grant on, and it's Rotherham that's stopping the grant. So again, in here, they refer to all the cuts from government to Rotherham, but it's not the government that's cutting our money, it's actually RMBC. And when we have a situation where we are maintaining land on behalf of RMBC, I personally don't think we should be turning around and bending over backwards while they make cuts against us, while we're maintaining their land.
Can I ask Michael, you might know this, have YALC, apart from the position that Stuart just mentioned, in that they think the grant should be passed on to parish councils, have YALC been...
They've been lobbying for that.
They've been what, sorry?
They've been lobbying government for that.
Do they know that this has come out and the decision's being made?
Yeah, but
They do know
it's
that.
not only Rotherham that's cutting
Yeah.
this grant, it is other local authorities.
And do we know
There's no, it's not mandatory for, I don't think, local authorities. They can't make them pass it on. They've advised, but advice is not, you must pass it on. But there is a difference, and other local authorities have not passed it on. Can I just say something? I was at that meeting with with Sir Derek Myers on the 29th of September, and he wrote to parish councils on the 6th of October. And we, at that meeting, we were representing the town and parish councils, as that were that been elected. And if you read the last line of that paragraph that Stuart wrote, he said, grant consistent with the proportion of the grant that the council had lost overall, but it continued to object the idea that the grant would be reduced to zero, which we did. We strongly objected to that grant would be reduced to zero, which is £30,000 over 3 years. What one of the ideas for was that whatever proportion the borough had lost for that period over 3 years, the parish council or town council, if it was 30% of the borough lost, they would accept it. If the best case, they would accept 30% reduction out of that 100% loss. But as they've calculated over the last 2 years, that figure for this year equates to what the borough council have lost from central government funding. So that's what his statement is, where one balances the other out. But he has said that they will again look at it next year with a view to that not going ahead if it can be avoided. So he's only said it will take effect for this 1 year. There is no decision by the borough, because he's asked his budget officers to look at it again next year with a view to that not being implemented if it's possible. So it may be that we only lose 1/3 instead of the entirety
Well,
for 3 years.
can I jump into that? You just said quite clearly that them representatives that went there objected to losing the money. And I go back to what he said. He says, those that I met with were enthusiastic about local work,
Yes.
but also open-minded about the future. That's not a problem. At that meeting, however, it was once again impressed upon me that parish councils did not object to reduction in the grant. Well, somebody's
You're taking that out of context because you're not reading the entire
well, if you read
section.
the gist is that them 3 paragraphs, the same way the councils haven't objected.
No, that's totally wrong. Totally. If you read it, I mean, Philip's agreeing with me, I think. And what we said was, if it was only reduced by the amount that the borough council had lost, which was whatever figure, then we would not object to that. Rather than losing 100%, we would accept 30 or 40% if that's what it had to be. But that's better than losing 100%. If you read the bottom line, it says, it continued to object the idea that the grant would reduce to zero, which we did.
All right, right. So in that case, then, are we saying as a council we're going to accept this letter for what it is, or are we going to object to losing the money?
Well, I think all the parish councils still object to losing the money. But what he's saying is, it's going to happen this year because it's part of their budget.
Well,
but they will again look at it next year with a view to that being avoided in future.
So we as a council are going to roll over and accept the fact
Well,
that we're
what
not
are
paying
you
the money?
going to do?
We'll write back quite strongly and say we object.
We've lodged the objections with him. He's taken it on board. He's discussed it with his finance officers.
We've lodged an objection. We've read our objection and totally ignored it.
He's not. He's gone away and looked at all the facts and figures. He's been advised by the council's
I am not going to
budget setting
recommend.
officers.
I'm not going to recommend that the council change its budget. So
Yeah, because
what
he has. He's listened as far as he can go. He can't set the budget. It's not within his powers to set it.
Yes, it is. But he said this before. He's lead commissioner. He has executive powers over the council because he can change any decision that the RMBC make. That's in his remit. He's told us that before.
Look,
If he wishes to change it, he could do.
he cannot. He'll have to go along with the recommendation that they've got to balance their budget.
I'm afraid
And what he's saying is, well, all right, you've got your views, Stuart. I was there, you weren't. Put it that way. And what they've lost is £110,000 over the last 2 years, or this year and last year, and that's what the parish council is
But
going
that's
to
nothing to
lose.
do
Pro
with
rata.
us. The money they're losing is the money from central government. What's actually happening is RMBC are penalising us because they've had a cut from government. Now, the question at the end of the day is, are the council going to roll over and accept this, or are the council going to object to
But
it?
what are you going to say is your objection?
Because it's our money. Government has said it should be passed
No,
on.
the government haven't said. The government advised. The government advised local authorities to pass it on. They don't say you must pass it on.
So the question
There's
is,
a difference.
the question is where the loyalties lie then. Do they lie with the parish,
No,
or do they lie with
no,
the
no. Can I?
You as chairman, Clive, should be fighting.
Excuse me, Stuart, I take objection to that. I fought all the way along for
You take
this.
whatever objection you want.
I shall will
You as
do,
chairman-
don't worry.
You as chairman should be loyal to this parish.
I am being loyal to. Are you accusing me of not being loyal to this parish then? You are.
Do have a go at
I will do, because you are.
You said now you're threatening.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, you're accusing me of not being loyal. That's totally untrue.
Your loyalty.
I have fought all the way along to keep this grant. There is no way you can object, not right, but it will not make any difference, I'll tell you now. If we're getting the parish network meeting.
Can we not have an argument
I'm
between
not.
you?
Not at all.
He's arguing on me.
You're not going to see the same point of view. Can I just make a suggestion? I know where Stuart's coming from. I think he's right to just not want to accept this. And I see where you're coming from as well, Clive, in that he's going to do it. He can, that's it. It's a fait accompli, that's it, it's done. I personally don't feel anything wrong with writing saying, thank you very much for your letter. We still object to having the money taken away from us. We think it's going to have an adverse effect on the services we can provide to the parish of Anston. I think there's nothing wrong with doing that. You may turn around and say, sorry, but tough. You may turn around and say, hey, we're still working on it. I don't know. But I think we should at least object to his letter.
I'm not objecting to us objecting. All I'm saying is that case was put forcibly to him. And what you're saying that it wasn't. But I assure you that it was, because he spent an hour and a half getting his ears bent at that meeting and told exactly what the parish was doing.
There's always some difference what's saying in the letter.
No, and that, I mean, you can see the minutes. I'll get them from Claude Griffiths.
It's council officer speak this.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, as a council, we are losing £30,000.
No,
we're not. We're losing 10,000.
It's what
over 3 years.
Potentially.
Right.
There's
As it stands at the moment, because there's been nothing passed at the moment, as it stands at the moment, we are set to lose £30,000 over 3 years. And as a parish council, on behalf of the people of this parish, we should be fighting to get that money because central government has recommended that it should be passed on. Just because they're getting cuts and are not willing to take cuts in their wages to offset that, why should we sit down and roll over?
Clive,
sorry, go Christy.
can we reply to the letter?
Yeah, of course you can. Or we can.
Because if we don't reply to the letter, it's not right. We should reply and make it known that we do object.
I mean, there was nobody more disappointed when I saw that how they'd worked that out, that what they lost equated to what the grant would have been for this year to all parish councils. So it's made it a negative.
I understand your position, Clive, but we cannot not say something.
I don't disagree.
It needs to go on record.
My
that we object to losing this money.
Standing up for this parish council at that meeting, and
the fact that the commissioners have come in.
No, I'm not having accusations here, but I didn't do it.
But Stuart,
what I said
it sounds like either way.
I asked the question, where do the loyalties lie? As chairman of this parish council, you should be with us. Fine, well, I'm assuming Mr.
I think he is with us.
I think I am.
But you was indicating that we're just going to have to accept
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, that's what will happen this year.
Well, you see, you're being...
But that doesn't, no, I'm being pragmatic. I'm being pragmatic. That's what will happen. That's what he's recommending. And their budget won't change.
Right,
but we've got a chance to influence it for the next 2 years, that it does.
Right, it'll only happen if you roll over and let them do it.
Well, but having said that, we can object, and I don't disagree with objecting, but what I'm saying is, it will not change what's going to happen this year. That is.
We're concerned with the letter, Clive. Nobody can look into the future.
No, sorry, Paul.
I was just going to say, in answer to what Stuart said, is where you're both coming from. So can't we just say to them, yeah, we've read it, we understand it, potentially our loss is 10,000. We object to this. Yes. Wait. What will you consider that loss not happening? Because potentially...
Can I just say that there should be a parish liaison meeting in January, February, and that will be on the agenda for all parishes to discuss that with, hopefully. So Derek Myers at that meeting. That's where everybody attends, all the parishes. Well, we always have 3 or 4 attending there. That's where all parishes will be attending at that meeting. That's going to be on the agenda. Yeah.
So the resolution is to write back thanking the RMBC for the letter, still objecting to the reduction, expressing an opinion that this will have an adverse effect on the parish. It is the understanding of the council the central government still recommends that the grant should be passed on to the parish level. It is hoped that erosion of the grant will be halted in future years.
And can I just make one amendment to that? Sorry, Gordon, you first.
Could I just add a bit to that, saying we are the highest precept in Northern Borough,
So we're
It's not really relevant, that, Gordon. It's just the fact that everybody's going to lose it pro rata, whatever their precept is. So
Can I just have a,
we're all going to lose money.
add a bit, a bit onto the end of the resolution is that we also send a copy of Sir Derek's letter and our reply to Yalc for them to forward on to NALC if they so wish.
Well, that's been an agenda item, hasn't it, before on
Yeah,
your
if you send a copy of this
council.
letter and our
We
reply,
can send it to.
it will go through Yalc, possibly to NALC, and they will again be lobbying government on our
Oh,
behalf.
that's fair enough. It just means the Stuart we're not rolling over.
Can I just say, I'm quite passionate about this because of what's happening, but the reason I get passionate about this is for a simple fact.
He's on the advert for ages.
I didn't know that.
Sorry,
Yeah, he has.
I didn't know.
And Colin,
go on then, bring.
I didn't realise.
I was going to say, Darren had his hand up before.
No, if you're halfway through something, Stuart, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite passionate about this because one of the reasons I'm passionate about this because yes, they are cuts, everybody's going to have to make cuts. But the point is our MBC, in my opinion, it's only my personal opinion, they are railroading cuts onto us to offset the cuts they're getting. And we as councils are already struggling for money. But the only way we can raise money is through our own tax, through our own people. So if we keep bringing our tax up, we are going to get blamed for doing that by our public electors. Rotherham are not taking the blame. All they're doing is taking cuts and passing them on to everybody else. And in a way, it's a bit like Goliath. What's the expression? It's the big people passing on to the small people. And because people are not really understanding fully what's going on with these grants, our MBC are getting away with it, and it's wrong. And we shouldn't be penalised when we have to raise taxes against our own people. Sorry about that.
Well, this is the double whammy.
Yeah,
You get double rating. Because you pay council tax at Rotherham, then you pay precept you pay.
Two things really. One,
Just the old argument with that.
Stuart, do you seriously, and I'll back you if you say if it's correct, do you seriously think you could get this reduction overturned? I'll be honest,
My
do you seriously think you
opinion
can?
is very doubtful, because I think the decision's already been made.
So,
But the point I'm making is, if we don't shout and spout loudly about it, nothing's going to happen.
and my final point is, if we spend as much time bleating on as we have done about the cuts, which we know nobody wants, if we put the same amount of effort into trying to generate something from the village, from the assets that we have, or create